What does Darth Vader tell Luke Skywalker in this iconic movie scene? Many people would say, "Luke, I am your father," but that's not what he actually says. He doesn't say Luke, not even in the original version of the movie.
No, I am your father.
That's the Mandela Effect, a phenomenon tons of people seem to be fascinated about. It's basically when a big amount of people seemingly misremember something of the past in the same way, often in relation to films and television. Today, I will be going over the top 10 cartoon Mandela Effect examples. I will be talking about Mandela Effects in animated shows and movies. Number 10, the Smurfs. The Smurfs are iconic animated characters. Those blue little guys have been on television since the 1980s, living in their mushroom villages and stuff. Okay, so picture them in your head. Think about what they look like. Alright, so, when you thought of the Smurfs, did they have tails? Despite what a lot of fans of the Smurfs say, they do indeed have tails. And this isn't just a new addition in one of the reboots, they even had tails in the original series. Yet many folks who grew up with the Smurfs don't find it very easy to picture them having tails. What also isn't easy is at number 9. Believe it or not, Cheetah wasn't the original mascot of Cheetos. At one time, the company had a different mascot that was a mouse, but eventually that one would be forgotten about, as Cheetah would then be created in 1986. And since then, Cheetah has been the mascot of Cheetos, and he has a very iconic, well-known catchphrase that he says in many of the animated commercials. But what is that catchphrase? It's not easy being cheesy? Oh, it ain't easy being cheesy.
Oh God, there is no fucking drummer better than Neil Peart!
It ain't easy being cheesy.
That's not correct. Nope. Despite lots of merchandise and media references to it saying otherwise, it is and always has been, it's not easy being cheesy.
Cheetos presents Chester Cheetah. I'm Chester Cheetah. I'm just a cool dude in a loose mood. Until I see those Cheetos. Then my cool turns to drool. My style and ease surrender to my urge for the snack that goes crunch. It's not easy being cheesy.
Number 8. This one got me as someone who was a big fan of Scooby-Doo as a kid. The famous mystery-solving team of teenagers and a talking dog that is still around over 50 years after the original series debuted on TV. And those who grew up with Scooby-Doo may remember an interesting detail about Shaggy's character design in the original series. I swear, I remember him having an Adam's apple. And I'm not the only one. But apparently, he never had an Adam's apple. Well, that would be true, if not for a reboot of the series that not many people have seen. Be Cool Scooby-Doo only lasted for 2 seasons, and when it came out in 2015, almost everyone instantly dismissed it unfairly because of its off-putting out style that reimagines the entire cast of Scooby-Doo. But if you watch the series, interestingly, guess who has an Adam's apple? Shaggy does. And as far as I'm aware, this is the only series that he has one. 7. This is a big one. Many Disney fans seem to remember there being a Disney logo animation where Tinkerbell uses a magic wand to make the dot on the eye in the Disney logo appear. If a lot of people remember this, it must be real, yeah? I mean, for something as iconic and famous as the logo for Disney, which is a massive media corporation, how could people get it incorrect? Well, I don't know, but it seems like they did. Because although there have been multiple official Tinkerbell Disney logo videos, none of them have her interacting with the eye on Disney. If one does exist, it has yet to be found. Well, Number 6. Pikachu's tail. Man, anyone remember the Pokemon Go craze? I never got into it, but it was so big, and everyone was playing it for some time, and it was crazy, bro. I guess everyone just had to catch them out. Pokemon is an incredibly big gaming franchise and has even left quite an impact on television animation. I've never watched the series, but I hear it has a lot of fans. And if you're a Pokemon kinda guy, then you probably know what Pikachu looks like. Think about his tail and what it looks like. Just do that for a second. Okay, so, did you think about Pikachu having a yellow tail with a black tip? Well, it doesn't have a black tip and it never did. 5. Scalf or no Scalf? Frosty the Snowman is a song by Michael Bublé that came out in 2011 and... wait, that doesn't sound correct. Anyways, the classic story of a snowman that comes to life. Frosty the Snowman. Does the dude have a scalp in the classic 1969 movie? Tons remember him having one, but he actually did not. Number 4. I grew up with this cartoon, and so did a bunch of others. Debuting in 1960, this animated series about a Stone Age family is called what? The Flintstones? Oh, the Flintstones. It would be kinda wild if you're someone who grew up with this iconic series and don't remember what the name of it is. But some have said they remember it being the Flintstones, despite it actually being the Flintstones. Personally, as someone who owns the series on DVD and loved it when I was a kid, I do remember it being Flintstones. But that's just me, I suppose. Similarly, at number 3, this isn't a spelling and pronunciation thing, this is just a spelling thing, but it's for another huge piece of the animation industry. Even bigger, actually. Looney Tunes. Imagine a universe where Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and all those guys didn't exist and none of those characters were ever created. How different would the animation industry be? Would there even be an animation industry? Maybe with Mickey Mouse and all the other things Walt Disney was doing, but I genuinely think Looney Tunes was something that monumentally made an impact on the presence of that medium of film. And yet, despite being something so huge and impactful to the animation industry, a lot of animation fans somehow don't know how to spell the name. Some people swear the correct way to spell it is Looney, Toons, but actually, it's always been Tunes. Admittedly, this is something that confused me a bit when I was a kid, and you might be thinking, that doesn't make sense. Why would it be spelled like that? Tunes is how you spell tunes as in music. Wouldn't it be spelled Toons because it's a cartoon? Well, the reason for the spelling being like that is because the name was inspired by Walt Disney's Silly Symphonies, which was a series of animated shows that had music playing over the animations. I think the reason this is considered a Mandela effect is because a lot of people just never paid attention to the spelling as a kid, and they don't know what the reason behind the spelling is. Number 2. Who's the fairest of them all? In Snow White, there was a moment, which is one of those movie scenes that I'm pretty sure everyone has seen at least one point in their life, where the evil witch in the movie talks into a mirror and asks it the very same question. This is not only an old fairy tale that goes way back, but it's also one of Disney's most well-known movies and one of the most famous animated movies of all time. So being how big this movie was and how iconic this one scene is in particular, most movie and cinema fans should be able to quote it correctly, right? I guess not, because many believe the evil witch says mirror mirror on the wall when she really says magic mirror on the wall.
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
However, it is worth noting that it is Mirror Mirror in most versions of the fairy tale, and it's only Magic Mirror in the Disney version. So that's probably why there's been so much confusion. Number 1. I saved the Mandela Effect about one of the biggest animated characters for last. The mascot of the greediest place on earth, Disney's Mickey Mouse. For this one, picture the character in your head. Think of an image of Mickey Mouse. Now, tell me, do you remember him having a tail? Because he does. And some people swear he never did. But wait, this is a double Mandela Effect. Because not only do some people remember him not having a tail, but some also remember him having slaps, and he doesn't. That's the end of this list. Did anything on it surprise you guys? I gotta be honest, I don't believe in the Mandela Effect. It's been scientifically proven human brains are bad at remembering specific details, but it's pretty fascinating to me how many iconic things a lot of people misremember. Are there any other famous things in shows and movies that you swear you remember being different than how they are? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like, share, and subscribe.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Let's go!